Hello, global actors. Hello, Facebook group. Hello, Instagram channel. It is so good to be here with everyone. So, hmm, I'm excited about today's topic. It's my intention to help you bring some joy back into your process. And what brought this up for me this week? Well, this has come up in for many different reasons. It's February. It's the second month of the year, and some of the motivation that actors have felt, that creatives have felt maybe on day one, January 1st, getting excited and set to, move forward with this plan or goal for the year. February is where we have the choice to keep going and move through the uncomfortable growth, or to let business be as usual and to get more of what you've always had, which may not be exactly what you desire right now. So, I would love to share with you today a few things that you can do to bring the joy back into the process. But I'm also here to answer any questions. So if you are joining me live via Instagram, or if you're joining me live in the Facebook group and you have any questions about this, for instance, if you're not feeling joy right now and you want to talk about it, or maybe you don't, maybe joy is not the word for you, maybe it's something else that you want to feel. Let's talk about it. And I'm here. I'm here to help. For those who don't know me, let me just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Elise Arsenault. I'm an actor. I'm a coach. I'm the founder of The Global Actor, where I help actors live where they want and work when they want. One of my favorite ways to do that is by helping actors build thriving audiobook narration careers inside my signature course, The Great Audiobook Adventure. And so today I wanted to bring up this blog post that I actually wrote several years ago, but it is still pretty, I would say it's still pretty true, because the challenges of being an artist have probably been the same challenges plaguing artists from 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. They just might look a little bit different. They might have different skins. I don't know if anybody's a gamer here, but they might be wearing like a different costume. They might show themselves a little bit differently. But at the essence of it, these creative challenges that we have are nothing new. And you're not the first person to experience whatever your challenges are. So, one of the solutions to getting out of feeling a lack of joy is to be in community with people who believe joy is possible or want this to be a fun experience. So I actually wanted to shout out, I'm going to drop, if you're in the Facebook group, I'm dropping in the comments this blog post that I'm going to be referring to today. But I also want to shout out my colleague, DeJuan Johnson, who is a fabulous actor, fabulous coach for actors. And I just wanted to shout out it was like the subject line of an email today. And I was like, yes, that is what needs to be repeated over and over and over again. Let me grab it for you. The subject line was, stop sharing your dreams with people who aren't dreamers. Stop sharing your dreams with people who aren't dreamers. I'm going to shout out DeJuan Johnson on this because it's in alignment with the conversation today, but it's really true. If you are not feeling great, check out who you're spending your time with. Are you spending your time with other people who are dreaming? If you're not, that is one action you can take right now, is to lean into the friendships, lean into the places where you are inspired by people. And how can you spend more time in those circles? If there are some big goals that you have for yourself that you haven't achieved yet, who do you know who has achieved similar dreams? And how can you spend more time with them? How can you add value to their journey, to their path? Okay, so this blog post that I wrote several years ago, it was updated in 2021, but it still holds true, is that you're still here. This is a marathon of a journey. I would love for you to share, how long have you been pursuing acting? Or or when was the first time you knew you were going to be an actor or a creator? For me, I was 5 years old when I knew I wanted to do this. and I'm much older than that today. And when we think, and I've also run a marathon before. And what's really cool about using the marathon analogy is that there are some short races you could do. You could run a 5K or a 10K or a 10-mile race or a half marathon. But the marathon requires a different set of skills that no other race requires. It requires the same tools of some of those races, but the distance, that 26.2 miles, for you that could be however long you want this career to be. For me, I intend to be an actor and a creative person my whole life, but it's going to look different at different times. I've had different chapters of my acting career. I've had different miles. We can think of them as like a chapter of a book or a different mile. There were a few miles that were me pursuing summer stock theater. I did that for several years. There was a chapter where I was pursuing grad school. There was a chapter where I was pursuing regional theater. There was a chapter or a mile, several miles where I was getting started in audiobook narration and in voiceover work. There were several chapters where I was building my coaching business. And now I'm at another brand new chapter for me, and that's growing in visibility as both a coach and as an actor, and getting my voice out there more. So as I continue to move on my path, I'm going to share it with you. And what I think is really cool about this time we're living in is that creatives are more necessary than ever. We've seen in the past couple years, as the pandemic has had a big shift of consciousness in our society. We've noticed that there are more people who want to work from home. There are people who are trying to get all their workers back to work now in person. But a lot of people have experienced for the first time, like, the feeling of what working from home could be like, what entrepreneurship could be like. And as artists, if you want to be working consistently, leaning more into that entrepreneurial business owner mode is going to, I think, be the only way forward if you want to be consistently bringing in income. If that's important to you, it might not be that important to you. You might like having something else that brings you income. But, I'm going to talk about that a lot more in the coming months, if not in the next year or two. But I'm seeing a shift in the need to have multiple income streams because of how the gig economy is impacting things, because of how slow rates are to rise. So it's going to involve creativity. But with that, we cannot pour from an empty cup. We cannot be creative if we're feeling lack. So what I want to encourage you to do is be in places where you can find joy. Lean into the relationships that are that for you. Figure out how you want to feel and do things that make you feel better. If you're not feeling good, if in your gut you're feeling icky towards doing an action, figure out, am I feeling icky towards that action because I really don't want to do it? I don't want to get to that goal that I set for myself? Or is it because there's fear there? Or could there be another way to do it that's more authentic to you? So bringing joy back to the process for me means reminding myself who I am. And I remind myself who I am by thinking back to, like, what are the things I loved before I took life so seriously? I think as artists, when we do pursue this as a business, we can sometimes get so serious in the gunk of it all, of like sending out not the gunk, but like we can get really in the business mode of like sending out outreaches, sending out invoices, setting out our intentions and goals and action steps. And sometimes that can feel like it gets really serious, and those things on your action list, those things on your goal list are not actually going to get done as well if you're not feeling good. So if you're here right now, let me know, like, how do you want to feel as you're moving towards whatever it is you're after right now? And if you are not feeling joy right now, tell me about it. If you want, I'm happy to do like a little bit of coaching with someone who's here. Okay, Colleen says it's hard to say because it was something I've always been drawn towards but ignored for a long time. Oh, being an actor, Colleen. Got it. So now that you're pursuing acting, are you in a place, are you experiencing joy yet? Colleen, let me know. And then going back to the article, I'm just going to point out a couple things. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, don't beat yourself up or anyone else up for the lack of results you might be experiencing right now. There are ebbs and flows to this career. There are peaks and valleys. As you're running a marathon, there are going to be hills, and then there are going to be downhills. There are going to be moments where things feel easy. So remember that if you're going through a difficult time right now, go all in on what you're working through and know that it's going to release at some point. But if you're close, we feel the most. I was listening. Where did I hear this yesterday? I forget. But I was hearing that we feel the most uncomfortable when we're at the beginning of going for a goal and when we're closest to reaching that goal. So if you're at the beginning of going after a goal right now, or you're very close to achieve it, don't forget your body is actually going to be feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. So I encourage you to lean in and do the things that are part of your work right now instead of procrastinating, instead of shying away from it. Lean in. You can get through this, and like surrounding yourself with a community to help you with this is great. Be open to finding joy in surprising acting opportunities. So how narrow-minded might your goal be right now, and how might you be able to open it up? I've worked with several actors over the years who had the intention to be working as a series regular on TV, and that's still a goal for them. But when they opened up to the possibility of working consistently in audiobook narration and other voiceover work and creating their own work and just being in community, interesting opportunities came their way. There are so many untraditional jobs that are popping up for actors. A few that I've had in my life that I've enjoyed have been being a standardized patient. If you are on your acting journey right now and you would like to be making some money through acting, that's something to check out. Being a standardized patient, being an audiobook narrator. If you're curious about audiobook narration, I have a free class that I'll be telling you about that's going to be live in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already, you'll want to make sure you're following me here on the Global Actor account. Or if you're here in the Facebook group, don't worry, we're going to tell you all about it. But be open to finding joy through acting opportunities that might look different than you thought. What I've noticed in my life is my 5-year-old self, my 13-year-old self, my 21-year-old self had all these specific visions for what my acting career was going to be like. And if I had stuck to that narrow view of what that self was, and I didn't allow myself to grow and change with the opportunities that were coming my way, I think I'd be really depressed and sad right now. But instead, I work in collaboration with the universe or whatever energy you believe in that has us moving forward. But we kind of have to work in relationship with the universe. We're in relationship with the world and time and everything around us. We can put a goal out there. We can get going on an action plan. And then what's so cool is that the universe is going to collaborate with us, and it's going to give us some feedback. It's going to give us some opportunities. And they might look exactly like the opportunities you most wanted, and they might look different. And so I encourage you, when an opportunity comes up that looks a little bit different but is intriguing to you, I encourage you to give it some time to come in, and maybe you say yes to something that looks different than you thought it was going to, and make sure it's in alignment for you, but be open to the surprises that might come when you allow yourself to just open that up a little bit. Another thing that I think is really, really important for you to bring the joy back is making time for self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You've probably heard that before, but what does that mean? It means if you're running on empty, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not getting enough hydration, if you're not surrounded by people who love you, who remind you of how awesome you are, it's going to be hard for you to be rested and active and energized and in a positive state of mind, which you need to be in if you want to attract the work at the high levels you might be wanting to work at. And when we think about the acting career, it's a high level. Every paid acting job is a high level of competition to get there. So I want you to take that in. Put a 1 in the comments if you've ever gotten paid to be an actor before. Do you realize, if that's you, that you're already at like an elite level of acting? And to keep going at that high level of getting paid and getting seen and booking the kind of work that you want to do, you must be pulling from a full cup. A full cup is one where you get enough sleep, where you get enough hydration, where you're spending time with people who love you, where you are coaching, where you're working with a coach to help you get there. That's another thing that tends to stop people from moving quickly towards their things is you may have access to resources. You may have access to coaching programs and groups that you're a part of, and you may not be leaning into all the support there. So how can you just go one step further with each of these things? How can you, one step further, be more open to finding joy and surprising opportunities that come your way? What's one thing you can do to up-level your self-care? What's one thing you can do to stay focused and accountable in receiving help and implementing the feedback that you've received so that you can be more competitive, so that you can find more joy as you're going after this? Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for sharing that link, Colleen, about standardized patient work. Procrastination is your superpower. No, it's not, Todd. Procrastination is not a superpower. For anyone who's struggling with procrastination right now, there's a book I want you to read. It's called The War of Art. So War of Art is actually, I'm going to put it in the comments in the Facebook group, War of Art. Let me see if I have it. I don't have it handy right here, but it's in my other bookshelf. But War of Art talks about resistance. Resistance is something that all artists face pretty much every day. So it's not going to go anywhere. Procrastination isn't going to go anywhere, but you're going to work through it. And the more you do it, it's like going to the gym. The more you work through procrastination and the more you see procrastination and say, I'm going to do it anyway, you're building that strength. You're building that muscle to say, I see you, procrastination. Thank you for keeping me safe, but I actually want this thing that I'm going after. I'm actually a working artist, so I need to show up and put in my work today. Thanks for sharing. Michelle said, I struggle with self-sabotage, which I used to think is procrastination. Self-sabotage is another form of resistance. Again, okay. There's another book I want to share with you. It's Overcoming Under-Earning. I'm going to drop that in the chat here as well. Hold on. Overcoming Under-Earning. So I'm starting a book list for everybody here by Barbara Stanny. I think I'm spelling her name right, but you may need to look it up. Michelle, I highly recommend you check that out. Self-sabotage, procrastination, both War of Art and Overcoming Under-Earning. These books deal with that. And these are just ways that our resistance is coming up to protect us, to keep us from moving forward. But we will not move forward if we keep letting them run the show. So we have to say, okay, thank you. Thank you, self-sabotage. You told me it's possible for me to use you, but you're actually not going to get me to where I need to be. So at this moment, I'm going to move forward and do the thing. So many resources I'm thinking of today. Another one is, I believe it's Mel Robbins does the 3-2-1 thing. So if that's her strategy. I don't know if it's 5-4-3-2-1 or just 3-2-1. I would say start with 3-2-1. But it's like if you are procrastinating on something and you actually it's the thing you're supposed to do right now, I would give yourself, just say, okay, I'm going to do the thing in 3 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And then go do the thing. This is a muscle. This is a muscle, and you're gonna find joy once you move to the next thing. And guess what's gonna happen? Procrastination is gonna come up again. So what we need to do is we need to continue to surround ourselves with the people who are dreamers like us. Again, shout out to Dewan Johnson. You don't want to be sharing your dreams with the people who don't get your dreams, who are keeping you in a safe, comfortable place that actually is not where you want to be, because every way towards our towards these goals that we're going towards is going to have some uncomfortable growth there. Yeah, thank you, Mel Robbins. Yes, okay, I will start my book club list. That's it for today. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and let me know how it goes. If you're catching this on replay, I would love for you to tell me what's your biggest takeaway from today's conversation. If you're here with us live, what's one action you want to commit to taking in the next 24 hours based on what we talked about here? And again, the three main actions or things I'd like to offer for you are: be open to finding joy in surprising opportunities. Make time for self-care. Stay focused and accountable. Okay, don't lose track of why you are doing this in the first place. Tap into your community of fellow actors. If you need a coach and you like what I'm talking about, connect with me. Let's talk. Let's see if I can help you. And just keep going. Don't forget, it's okay to take a break. You can take breaks as you need to. But if you've been taking a break for a really long time now and you're ready to get in there, choose an action that you're going to commit to. Let us know here in the chat, and check back in with us. Let us know once you accomplish it. And if you need some help, reach out, okay? Feel free to tag me, and know that I'm cheering you on always. Thanks for joining us. And if you're on the Global Actor Instagram right now and you want to join the Facebook group, just click on the link in my bio and you can join us here in the Facebook group. If you're in the Facebook group and you want to find out about the Instagram channel, we're at The Global Actor. Elise Arsenault. And if you want one more opportunity, tomorrow we are celebrating. We're sharing celebrations and setting intentions in our Clubhouse room. So on Clubhouse, our club is the Global Actor Lounge. So search us, join us, and tomorrow, Friday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, we will be gathering there, and we can't wait to hear your celebrations and hear your intentions for the month ahead. Wishing you a really great rest of your day. I'm going to say goodbye to you Instagram first, and then I'm going to say goodbye to the Global Actors Group. Let me just take a moment to check in and see what everyone said they're intending to do. What's the difference between procrastination and needing self-care? Good question. They're two different things. They're two different things, Michelle. Procrastinating is an act of resistance. Self-care, okay, self-care is, those are actions to actually take care of yourself. And you need to take care of yourself if you want to be creative, if you want to have more flow and more joy in the work that you're doing. There are several things that may hold us back in resistance. Again, the War of Art is going to cover many. Overcoming under-earning is another. There's a book by Christine Horn that I recommend. I'll add that to the book list as well. But in there, she talks about the fears that might be holding you back. So by adding in self-care and like committing to it, putting it on the calendar and actually doing it, you're actually respecting yourself. And it is the opposite of resistance. You're showing up for yourself. Resistance is you being stopped from the thing you actually say you want to do. So resistance is stopping you from doing the things that you know will move you forward. And by doing self-care, hopefully self-care helps you unblock some of that resistance. And an act of self-care is actually doing the thing you say you're going to do. Can be an act of self-care as well. Great question. How do you know you need to do a 3, 2, 1, go versus take a break? Good question. I would say stop, close your eyes, and ask yourself, Have I been working for a long time right now? Do I really need a break right now? When's the last time I took a break? Great. If it's been a while, give yourself a break. If you've been on a break, if you've been scrolling, if you've been doing things that are just distracting you, and you have to get something done right now, then try the 3-2-1 exercise. Julia is doing self-care. Yay! Colleen is changing up your self-care to include meditation. Oh, I love that, Colleen. I'm doing a meditation right now from Wendy Braun, and the meditation is I am deserving. That's the mantra, is I am deserving. And it's a 15-minute guided meditation to help me believe I deserve the next thing I'm working towards. So that's another thing. We need to we get what we deserve. We get what we think we deserve. So if we think, so the life that you have right now is in reaction to what you think you deserve. And the way to get to the next thing is to believe and do and take actions to get you to a place where you know you deserve whatever the next thing is. So we build it. Again, it's a muscle. Meditation, guided meditation can be a great tool for this. Therapy can be a really great tool for this. And inside the Dream Big Plan Smart frameworks inside Momentum Club, if you have access to that, there are lots of tools in there to help you work through some of this rewiring of your brain as well. All right, you got your book list. We got our clubhouse room. I think that's it. Thanks so much for everyone who could join us today. And let me see. Danielle is going to create a list of actions you could take for your goals. So you can always look to see some inspiring action to take rather than wondering what to do and not doing anything or something not so forwarding. I love it. And Michelle's about to do the 3-2-1 thing. Awesome. Thanks so much, Facebook community. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.